CBS next Sunday.
From the team behind FBI, CIA, new episode CBS Monday.
Now on WCCO News, a hockey reporter and devoted mother lost in a house fire with her children. Friends share her impact beyond the rink.
She was there to help other people. She really, really cared about other people.
Then, ICE agents deployed to help with long TSA lines.
We'll take a look at how this could impact airports across the country and here at MSP.
If you were a little depressed about today's weather, I mean, how could you not be? I have some light at the end of the tunnel, and that includes sunshine.
And a Maya Battles game winner sends the Gophers to the Sweet 16.
This is WCCO News, always streaming on CBS News Minnesota.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek James. Tributes are being shared all over for the mom and her 3 children who lost their lives in a house fire on Saturday. Jessi Pierce was known by many as a writer and contributor for the Minnesota Wild, NHL, and several sports radio and podcast shows. WCCO's Marielle Mose learns more about the impact she made on the Minnesota hockey community.
Flowers sat in the Grand Casino Arena press box on Saturday evening, where Jessi Pierce would normally be sitting, covering the Wild game. The team remembered her by sharing a statement that said in part, Jessi was a kind, compassionate person that cared deeply about her family and those around her, and she was a dedicated ambassador for the game of hockey during her time covering the Wild and NHL. The Frost and NHL shared similar tributes, and many who knew her shared their memories online.
I hate to use that as the metric, but when so many people take the time to post, it kind of shows you the hole that's left.
One of those tributes shared was this one by the Hendrickson Foundation. They're a Minnesota organization that supports athletes with disabilities to play hockey. Paul Fletcher and Danny Hendrickson with the foundation say Jessi gave back to the game by participating in their annual hockey festival over the last decade.
Anytime she would come, she had so much positive energy. She was happy to be a part of it. She was happy, to smile. And she's just one of these people that she was there to help other people. She really, really cared about other people.
All of the stuff that Danny just said made it suddenly very difficult to talk.
Emotions are raw thinking of Jessi's impact and legacy she leaves behind. Her Bar Down Beauties podcast co-host Kirsten Krull called Jessi and her kids a part of her chosen family in a tribute on social media. That family sentiment felt by all who knew her, and so many did.
She was ever present, it seemed like. And I don't know how she did it.
We lost a luminary, and it's very sad.
Marielle Mose, WCCO News.
A live look now at the WCCO Next Weather Tower in downtown Minneapolis. That blue glow is for cool air as the ups and downs of spring continue. Next Weather meteorologist Katie Seiner here now. And are things going to improve? We had a big down day and a lot of gloom, too.
I think it was just mainly the juxtaposition of what we saw yesterday, where it was like summer, and now today it was like no sun, no warmth, even though, we really weren't that cold. We were actually above average for today. But right now, it's a little chilly out there, especially when, you compare it to 79 degrees. 34 degrees is where we are right now. Our winds are still pretty strong out there, coming in at 11 miles per hour, gusting up to 21. Those will be a little bit lighter out there for tomorrow. So we're going to see a lot of sunshine out there tomorrow. So that's the good thing if you like sun. 50 degrees is your high temperature. That's about 4 degrees above our average high for this time of year. And we're going to see more cloud cover as the day goes on. So enjoy the sunshine in the morning. If you like the sun, go for a morning walk as opposed to an afternoon walk if you want to plan your day around that sunshine, because once we get to 6 p.m. we're going to see a significantly cloudier sky out there than what we see in the morning. But if you are missing the 70s, Derek, and I probably are, we potentially will see them back in really not that long of a time, and I'll have more details on that coming up.
Sounds good. Thank you, Katie. Beginning tomorrow, President Trump says ICE agents will be heading to airports to assist TSA. The announcement comes amid staffing challenges because of a partial government shutdown. Trump first mentioned the idea over the weekend while specifically mentioning Minnesota. Jason Rantala looks at the impact.
The president takes aim at Minnesota in a Saturday morning post on Truth Social discussing moving ICE agents to airports, which Trump says will lead to the immediate arrest of all illegal immigrants who have come into our country, with heavy emphasis on those from Somalia who have totally destroyed, with the approval of a corrupt governor, attorney general, and Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the once great state of Minnesota. The following day, Trump confirmed ICE will be at airports beginning Monday.
We're simply there to help TSA do their job in areas that don't need their specialized expertise.
Border czar Tom Homan tells CNN that ICE agents will help with security at entrances and exits.
This is about helping TSA do their mission and get the American public through that airport as quick as they can, while adhering to all the security guidelines.
Homan said Sunday that large airports with long wait times, like 3 hours, should be prioritized. An MSP spokesperson says that during this partial government shutdown, their wait times have been under 30 minutes. In fact, right now here on Sunday evening, it's less than 5 minutes. It remains unclear how and if MSP will be impacted.
I think it's all right as long as, it keeps the airport moving with the shutdown. I mean, you got to do something.
I think Trump should do his job, and I don't think ICE should be doing the job of the TSA.
The goal is to terrorize people.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry shared his thoughts with MS Now.
If the goal here was safety at airports, he could hire out more TSA agents that do an incredible job at keeping our airports safe.
At MSP, Jason Rantala, WCCO News.
A DHS spokesperson tells CBS News that the president is using every tool available to help American travelers who are facing hours-long lines at airports across the country. The partial government shutdown is due to a stalemate on how to fund DHS. Still no arrests in a deadly shooting at a South Minneapolis apartment. Minneapolis police say a late-night fight led to gunfire and a 19-year-old was killed. A 16-year-old boy was hospitalized. Officers say the shooter took off before they arrived. In northeast Minneapolis, police are looking for the driver who hit a woman and took off early this morning. Officers say they found a woman in her 20s who had been seriously hurt. They believe she was crossing the street when a fast-driving, dark-colored sedan hit her. If you know anything, Minneapolis police want to hear from you. In Cottonwood County, 5 people have died and 9 others are hurt after a crash. State Patrol says it happened Friday around 5 p.m. when an SUV and a transit van collided on Highway 71. Alcohol is not believed to be involved. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. As the war with Iran reaches 1 month, the U.S. and Iran are now trading threats over the status of the main oil passageway out of the Middle East, while the airstrikes on both sides escalate. CBS's Charlie D'Agata has the latest from Tel Aviv.
Iranian ballistic missiles struck Israel overnight, inflicting damage on a scale not seen here since the beginning of the war. The southern city of Arad targeted, emergency workers arriving to a scene of devastation. In the daylight, we saw walls sheared off apartments, windows blown out of bedrooms, a bus waiting at the sidewalk shredded to pieces.
Here at the scene of one of those missile strikes, you can see this massive crater left behind. But officials tell me, as bad as this was, it could have been a lot worse because it landed in the middle of this neighborhood of apartment blocks instead of a direct hit on top of one.
Residents like Amelia Alouche had taken cover in shelters.
You knew this was different.
Yes, totally. This is the first time that I hear something like that. I can't believe it, that you can see this destruction and everybody's alive.
It's a miracle.
I can't believe it. It's a miracle.
Nearly 200 people were injured in this strike and one in the nearby city of Dimona. Officials tell CBS News that U.S. aircraft have flown 8,000 combat missions, hitting 7,800 targets since the war began more than 3 weeks ago. Yet Iran continues to hit back, launching the first strike on Diego Garcia, the U.S.-UK base in the Indian Ocean, around 2,000 miles away and thought to be out of range of even the most powerful Iranian missiles.
So the clock is now ticking after President Trump warned Iran that if it doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz completely, the U.S. will obliterate Iran's power plants, Iran's responded by saying they'll shut down that vital waterway indefinitely if that happens. Charlie Daggett of CBS News, Tel Aviv.
The Gopher women's basketball team still dancing after a comeback win today at Williams Arena. Ren Clayton, you were there for it.
Yeah, it was electric. So many people packed into the barn. Yeah, just a great celebration this afternoon. 2 tournament wins and 2 comeback wins for the Gopher women's basketball team. They are on to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2005. But well into today's second-round game with Ole Miss, it did not look like that would be the reality. Ole Miss dominated the third quarter, but Minnesota fought all the way back. Mara Braun, playing her best basketball when it matters most, gets a tough 3-ball to fall. That tied the game late. It was tied again with 3 seconds left, and they turned to a Maya battle, did a lot of everything in this game, and clutched it up for the game-winning jumper. Gophers win 65-63. They advance to the Sweet 16, celebrating with a good-looking bracket.
I've always wanted to do that. So, I mean, it's just, it's so special. I mean, everybody here celebrates each other's success. And, I mean, we get more time together. I think that's also a big part of it.
It's just all grit and just we wanted it so bad. And we were saying that at halftime, going into half, even when we were down, I mean, everyone stepped up as leaders and just making sure that everyone was on the same page and knowing we can do this. And the crowd was amazing. They got us back into the game and just, I don't know, we wanted it really badly, and so I think that really showed.
Yeah, it did. They will play next weekend in the Sweet 16, possibly and most likely against UCLA. We'll hear from Amaya Battle, who hit that game-winning shot later on in sports, plus a big Timberwolves win as well.
All right, thank you, Ren. Still ahead, parents in the Minnesota Senate struggling to balance work and childcare. The upcoming vote that could let mothers bring their children to the floor and breastfeed at work. Plus,
it's a problem hitting communities throughout the metro. Fear kept people home, so they're not able to pay their rent. Tonight, we're in Shakopee, where local organizers say that nearly 100 people are at risk of eviction.
Tomorrow is going to feel different weather-wise. We're actually going to see the sun, and things are going to be just a little bit warmer by a couple of degrees, and the wind is going to back off by a couple of miles per hour. I'll have all the details for you coming up, including that 70 could be on that 7-day forecast.
Injured in an accident? Contact Schwabel, Getz & Sieben before settling with the insurance company.
Gold and silver are near record highs. Wedding Day Diamonds is Minnesota's top buyer. We're buying jewelry, gold, silver, and coins in all 9 locations. Bring your gold and silver in for a free, no-pressure estimate and get paid today.
That to-do list isn't going to do itself. That's where the 2026 Motor Trend Truck of the Year Ford Maverick comes in. Agile, nimble, equipped for wherever you go, and capable of taking what you need. Ford Maverick, turning a to-do list into a to-done list. Get $2,500 bonus cash on a new Ford Maverick, plus a free limited maintenance plan, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Yet another toothpaste that does not whiten. Girl, this one works.
Basic toothpaste stops at the top. Crest goes deeper to dissolve the bonds that hold stains to teeth for whiter teeth in one day. Crest.
Dupixent continuously works to help prevent asthma attacks. So game days are better. Girls' days are better. Even Mondays are better. Dupixent's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It's not for sudden breathing problems. Some people felt their asthma symptoms improve in as little as 3 days. Severe allergic reactions, including skin reactions, can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away if signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, brown or dark-colored urine, tingling or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey. Did you know that for over 73 years, Minnesota homeowners have trusted builders and remodelers to improve and protect their homes? They're locally owned and operated, and they have been since day one. They've built their reputation right here by professionally installing top brands and standing by their work. And they specialize in simplifying the process for you. Give them a call today and save 25% on any windows, siding, roofing, doors, or patio door project. Plus, 36 months, no interest financing. Go to buildersandremodelers.com for all the details. That's Builders and Remodelers at buildersandremodelers.com. Nobody does it better.
Need extra cash? Wedding Day Diamonds buys gold and silver, coins, jewelry, and even silverware. Get your free, no-pressure estimate and get paid today. With more than 6,000 five-star reviews, Wedding Day Diamonds is the place you can trust.
Fear is costing families in Shakopee hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a problem that the Twin Cities and its suburbs are grappling with, finding ways to pay rent for people that were too scared of ICE to leave the house. Our Connor White takes us to Shakopee, where nearly 100 people, we're told, are at risk of eviction.
From armed raids to allegations of ICE agents disguising themselves in the community.
You're going to tell me this is what our taxpayer money goes to?
This was Shakopee during Operation Metro Surge.
People feel it's over, and it's not.
Mary Hernandez knows because her work isn't slowing down. She's the executive director of Mikasa, a nonprofit in Shakopee that now finds itself delivering food to between 500 and 600 families per week. That need grew as people stayed home during the ICE surge.
You heard about fear so paralyzing that the length of a driveway is a no-go.
That's a no-go.
She told WCCO about people unable to bring out the trash by themselves, so keeping a job was just about impossible. Without incomes, Hernandez says it didn't take long for about 90 families to fall behind on rent in the Shakopee area.
I call it a big black hole because there's no end to it, and there's really not enough assistance.
Mikasa is relying on donations to help pay landlords directly. The philanthropic Wilson Foundation is now stepping in, with its president telling WCCO they're wiring $300,000 to Mikasa this week.
The system isn't set up to support it. Nobody was prepared. Nobody was prepared, and nobody saw this coming.
This month, the Minnesota State Senate approved $40 million in emergency rental assistance. State House Republicans released a statement saying the measure will not make it through the House floor. Shakopee's Democratic representative says debate will continue.
I hope that the state will be able to get that done and move that forward, but I don't think anybody should count on it. I don't think anybody should rely solely.
Connor, in stories on this issue that we've done in Minneapolis, Columbia Heights, and now Shakopee, we've heard about the Wilson Foundation. What's their involvement?
Well, they're a private grant-making foundation set up by an entrepreneur from Minnesota named John Wilson. The foundation has made rental assistance its sole focus at the moment, primarily matching donations. In Shakopee, that $300,000 is a standalone lump sum, but even then, Maria Hernandez with Mikasa says that money can only go so far, maybe only covering them for about 2 months.
All right, thank you, Connor. Next, weather taking us from shorts and T-shirts back to a warmer jacket in 24 hours. Isn't a 40-degree swing fun?
Like a winter jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I was trying to minimize it a little bit.
I told someone yesterday, I was like, I'm off jackets. We're done. Showed up to church this morning in our
big
winter
puffy
coats.
jacket, right? Yep.
Exactly. What do you do? Well, here's some video. You can see the birds. They don't seem to mind.
Blue hair in there.
Yeah, not bad.
One person walking.
With her winter coat on. This is a Richfield Lake Park. So the ducks they don't care.
Yep.
They're like, oh, we have some water. It's not ice, so
exactly.
We're happy as clams. But yeah, the snow is all gone, so that's the positive. 34 degrees is where we are right now. Winds still strong, 11 miles per hour, gusting up to 21. Now, as we get to tomorrow, those winds are going to die down to about 5 to 10 to 15 in the afternoon miles per hour. Look at our satellite and radar. You can see we are seeing those clearing skies. Especially if you live off to the east, give it a couple of hours and we'll see nice clear skies in the Twin Cities as well. Current conditions, you can see where we are clear. Our temperatures are a little bit cooler, and that's very normal. Our clouds kind of act as a blanket sometimes. So you can see our colder air there. Alexandria, 25 degrees. Compare that to 35 degrees in the Twin Cities. Wind speeds, they are dying as we go. 10 miles per hour in Rochester. You compare that to 7 miles per hour right now in Brainerd. So here's that look at that temperature for today. But the next 24 hours, you can see we're going to dip around 28 degrees. This is pretty typical for this time of year. And then we're going to be rising into, we're going to be about 4 degrees above average. So by noon, if you're going to have kids out at recess, 40 degrees, it's going to be a pretty nice day, especially in the morning. If you want to prioritize a morning or afternoon walk, if you want lots of sunshine, go in the morning. If you want a little bit more cloud cover out there, then go in the afternoon. That's kind of going to be your day as we go. But overnight temperatures, like I said, very close to average, 29 degrees in the Twin Cities. Then we will warm up to 50 with a lot of sunshine in the morning, cloud cover in the afternoon. If you live off to the west, you'll see that cloud cover come a little bit earlier on in the day. Then we get to Tuesday, where it's going to be even warmer. 55 degrees is your high temperature there. We'll see a little bit more cloud cover out there on Tuesday than what we're going to see tomorrow. High temperature in Grand Rapids is 48. Our next chance for rain is going to come Wednesday night into Thursday, and it's really not that significant, but just wanted to mention we could see some showers on Thursday. Again, it's not going to be major, but I did want to show you this graphic because I think it's very interesting. So this is a look at our 7-day forecast here. Pretty typical. Again, the average 45, 46 degrees, but look at next weekend into the, as we get into early next week, 60 degrees, flirting a little bit here, potentially 70 degrees. So it's still 8 days out, but it's potential. We could potentially get up to 70. So on Wednesday, we're at 58 degrees there, which is well above average. Then we've got 50 degrees there on Thursday with that chance for showers. Friday is actually below average at 43. And then next weekend, again, looks nice. 51, sunny, 63 on Sunday, which is well above average.
Yeah, only 1 day below the entire 7-day. Not bad.
We'll take it.
Yeah, thanks, Katie. Ren, what's on tap?
We're still talking Gopher women's basketball. Everyone really around these parts, I think, is still talking about that epic game. The Gopher women's basketball team makes dramatic March memories and break a long program drought. Plus, it's over, Anakin. Bones has the high land. The Wolves are led by a surprising player, and the Gopher women's hockey team has named its new head coach. That and much more next.
Save 25% off your entire project. Go to buildersandremodelers.com.
Right now at Home Furniture, when you spend $9.99, get 7% tax relief. Spend $29.99 or more and get double tax relief. Plus, 3-year special financing. Double tax relief savings at Home Furniture ends Wednesday.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Ace. You overdid it on the loaded fries. Undo it with Pepto-Bismol. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
How's that flu?
I got this. I don't got this.
You need DayQuil Intense Flu.
Power through your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. You do got this. DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching fever, power through your flu medicine.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, Jess from Planetary Design will pour 60 cups of coffee for 60 adventurers.
Shoot, lost count.
Shop small business on Amazon. To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, John from Bluecorn Beeswax will light 60 candles for Marv and Ethel's 60th wedding anniversary.
Marv? Ethel?
Shop small business on Amazon.
Man, I love this place. But when my dry AMD progressed to geographic atrophy, or GA, I was worried I'd be seeing less of it. My retina specialist told me that Izervay protects healthy retinal cells longer and is proven to slow GA.
Slow it down, get GA going slower.
Which could help me see what I love for longer.
Izervay, get GA going slower.
Izervay is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam.
With Izervay, I'm taking action to slow my GA, and seeing him out there means everything to me.
Ask your retina specialist how you could help preserve your vision longer with Izervay.
That is why I don't ride elevators anymore. Okay, what's with you today?
Well, I got away with something I shouldn't have. See that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah?
I only paid...
Jasmine's gonna finish you off. Jasmine!
Enjoy your new car.
Yeah, you too.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on select Hyundai vehicles. See your Twin Cities Hyundai dealer.
Right now at Home Sleep Express, get 10% off sale prices on Prana Sleep and Thomas Cole Sleep. This Velora Pillow Top Queen mattress is just $9.89, and this Karma Elite Hybrid Plush Queen is $21.59. Plus, get 3-year special financing now at Home Sleep Express.
Back with Ren Clayton, a great day to watch Minnesota basketball.
Man, it was. It just started the day and kept on going into the evening. They made it as riveting as possible, but when all was said and done, the Gopher women's basketball team keeps on dancing, needing a major fourth-quarter comeback today at Williams Arena, taking on Ole Miss in round 2, and the Rebels had an 8-point lead entering the fourth. Sierra Tinu, the pull-up to hold the advantage late in regulation. but no one competes harder than Mara Braun. Caps the comeback with a falling away three-pointer that tied it at 61 with just over a minute. Sophie Hart added a layup later, but Ole Miss would answer, so it came down to one last possession to break another tie. 3.5 seconds to win it. Amaya Battle from Hopkins from her favorite spot goes up, goes down, and hits it. A jam-packed Williams Arena erupts. 0.8 seconds later, the Gophers complete an epic fourth quarter. They outscore Ole Miss 19-9 in the last period. 65-63 the final. Minnesota on the way to the Sweet 16.
I knew it was in. I mean, she makes that shot all the time in practice, and so it wasn't a surprise. And like we were saying, she was taking her 2 dribbles into that pull-up, and I think everyone knew it was cash.
We committed here 4 years ago, and we wanted to turn the program around, and it came with a lot of ups and downs, but we stuck to it, and yeah, like basically all of us stuck to it, where a lot of us are homegrown. I think it means a ton to me to say that we did what we wanted to.
Now, this is a good win, an interesting win, too, because of who the Timberwolves did it against and who they did it without. Still no Anthony Edwards as Minnesota visited Boston, one of the best teams in the league. But Ayo Dosunmu wasn't phased. The 3 to tie it late in the second quarter. Then he quickly gets a steal, takes it himself again for the layup and the lead. Ayo had 17 points tonight, but the Celtics built a lead for themselves in the third. A bad look here for the Wolves. An easy lay for Derek White. Boston up by 3 points, but Minnesota would go on an extended run after that. Uber confident tonight was Bones Highland, led the Timberwolves with 23 points coming off the bench. It was a 16-0 run. Naz Reid, the back down here. It was over after that. The Wolves win it 102-92. The Gopher women's hockey team has its new head coach. Greg Boom May has been promoted from the assistant coach job he held since 2023. He takes over for Brad Frost, who was let go last week. Prior to the Gophers, May led the Augsburg men's hockey team for 2 seasons. He also was a former head boys coach at Blake and Farmington. May was in charge of the Gophers' power play the last few seasons and will be introduced officially tomorrow afternoon. The women's hockey championship game, Wisconsin surrendered a 2-goal lead to Ohio State, but Claire Enright put them back in front. The Lakeville South grad with what turned out to be the game winner, and the Badgers win it 3-2. They're back-to-back national champs. It's their 9th ever national crown. Drake Callender had not gotten his Minnesota United career off to a good start, but today was a big step in the right direction for the goalie. The Loons hosting Seattle. A good chance in the first half from the Sounders here, but the Minnesota defense and Callender combined to keep it scoreless and send that shot high. Colombian star James Rodriguez finally played his first game in St. Paul. A nice pass there, but Anthony Marcanic can't convert, and this one ends in a 0-0 draw. The Twins spring game with Atlanta today. Byron Buxton caps back-to-back Twins home runs with a towering shot. He's back from the World Baseball Classic. The Twins win 7-3. The winningest cross-country skier in United States history skied in her final race today. Jessi Diggins from Afton, Minnesota, wrapped up her prestigious career with the 20K mass start race held in Lake Placid, New York today. She finished 12th. Emotional after crossing the finish line. A legendary cross-country skiing career comes to a close. A whole bunch of Minnesota basketball players playing for different teams around the country in March Madness today, having some big performances. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
A lot of big highlights. Thanks, Ren. Still ahead, concerns over Metro emergency care, why the state's largest trauma center could close. No more wings, no more Hooters. Longtime fans say goodbye to the last remaining location in Minnesota.
Corner Home Medical, specializing in the best home medical equipment. CornerHM.com.
These days, the world is moving faster than ever, but I like to say, not so fast when it comes to a progressive disease like chronic kidney disease. Jardiance is a little pill proven to slow the progression of CKD and reduce the risk of kidney failure, which can lead to dialysis.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and infection between and around the anus and genitals. Both may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in men and women, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Find the goodness of slow by saying, not so fast, CKD. Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
What has lasted 5,000 years was once almost lost. Now, the world awaits the divine culture's return. See it at least once in your lifetime. Shen Yun, live on stage at the Orpheum Theater, March 27th through the 29th. Buy tickets at shenyun.com.
Even getting out of bed is a struggle.
Sounds like you're dealing with a lot of pressure.
And pain. Ugh, it's ruining my sleep.
Well, it's a good thing you came to Slumberland. As your sleep counselor, I'll help you find the best mattress to relieve those aches and pains. Try this Tempur Pro Adapt. The all-night adaptive support and unparalleled pressure relief will help you get the deep, undisturbed sleep you deserve.
Oh, I think getting out of this bed is gonna be a struggle.
I hear ya. Slumberland. Stop stressing, start sleeping.
Bathfitter makes it easy to remodel your bath or shower.
I'm Jeff Boomin.
And I'm Rick Boomin with Bathfitter.
We offer a beautiful selection of tubs and showers, or convert your tub to a shower.
With our seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you'll get a beautiful new shower guaranteed for life.
Bathfitter's been around for 40 years, and we make our showers right here in America, from Duluth to Rochester. We serve all of Minnesota.
Call now for a free estimate and receive up to $1,000 off or financing as low as $100 a month.
It's better with Bathfitter.
Tonight was your last chance to grab dinner or a drink at the Hooters in Mall of America.
I mean, we tried it when we were down in Florida, and it was great. And I don't know, it gets a bad rap, but the food is actually really good. And this guy has been coming since he was born. He likes the food, too.
There was a long line of guests waiting to bid farewell to the restaurant after 33 years. One family told us what they'll miss the most is the spicy garlic sauce. Now, if you want to visit a Hooters, you'll have to buckle up for a road trip. The closest ones are in Iowa. The state's biggest trauma center is at the risk of closing. The proposal from healthcare workers to keep it open for patients. The Minnesota Senate has never allowed children on the floor. The new bill that could make the chamber more family-friendly in tonight's Talking Points.
And our next weather tower is blue. It was colder out there today. Coming up, it is going to be a little bit warmer. So that's the good news. We'll have more coming up.
Allie here, checking out dining and bar stool deals at Dock 86. I found this counter table with 4 chairs and a bench for $10.99. And this counter table with 4 stools is just $8.99. Plus, single stools in bar or counter height are just $149 a piece. Want more dining and bar stool deals? Shop Dock 86.
Are your windows cold, drafty, or in need of maintenance? Now's the time to call Window Concepts to upgrade your home with new energy-efficient, maintenance-free windows. Call today and get free installation plus no interest for 36 months. And with every free estimate, Window Concepts will give you a $50 Target gift card.
Call Window Concepts at 877-265-2780 or log on to windowconceptsmn.com.
Yet another toothpaste that does not whiten. Girl, this one works.
Basic toothpaste stops at the top. Crest goes deeper to dissolve the bonds that hold stains to teeth for whiter teeth in one day. Crest.
Better sleep starts at Ashley during our anniversary mattress sale. For a limited time, receive up to a $300 gift card with select mattress purchase. Or you can snooze now and pay over time with no interest until March 2031. Only at Ashley.
When the power goes out, Hero Home Services steps in to save the day. Our whole home generators provide automatic, reliable power, keeping your family safe and comfortable. Whether you're home or away, these advanced systems ensure life stays uninterrupted. With expert installation and dependable service, we always make sure your generator is ready. Don't wait for the next outage. Choose Hero Home Services for reliable backup power you can trust. When your home needs a hero, call Hero Home Services today.
For pain in multiple spots like here, here, or here, Salonpas patches stick firmly and remove comfortably once your pain is gone. Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Bring on the spring. Bring on the savings. Bring it on at your local Northland Ford dealers. Get out there in America's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality. Start a new adventure in a Ford Explorer. Take on the great outdoors in a Bronco Sport. Do it all with an Escape It's time to bring it on. Now, get $3,500 bonus cash on a new 2026 Ford Explorer. See your local Northland Ford dealers today.
Should we take a look at? What do you think?
So here, guys, we're going to rip everything down to the studs.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call or visit our showroom for your free design consultation.
Allie here. You won't believe what I found exclusively at Dock 86. A total comfort twin mattress for only $99, or a queen for just $199. Plus, premium queen Jacopedic memory foam and innerspring mattresses start at $249. A good deal more for less on mattresses. Shop Dock 86.
You're watching WCCO News, always streaming on CBS News Minnesota.
On Wednesday, an historic vote will take place on the Minnesota Senate floor. A bipartisan group of Senate mothers is trying to change the rules to allow them to bring their children on the floor to breastfeed. In tonight's Talking Points, Esme Murphy has the story of the senators who are trying to change a system that was never designed to include them.
The Minnesota legislature has passed a law requiring employers to give women the time in their workday and a space where they can pump breast milk. Without the ability to pump, a mother's milk supply can dry up. Minnesota GOP Senator Julia Coleman, a mom to 3 young boys, was a guest on WCCO Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m.
Then when I saw a new batch of women come in and having babies, I thought, just because I had to go through it doesn't mean they have to. We have to make sure that the Senate is welcoming and all people can participate.
Unlike the Minnesota House, which does allow children on the House floor, the Minnesota Senate does not. DFL Senator Claire Umu Verbaeten was recently kicked off the Senate floor because she was holding her baby Leo. Senator Umu Verbaeten was also a guest on WCCO Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m.
Had to figure out childcare that day. He was sick, and I needed to bring him with me to work. Brought him onto the floor. He did really well, but we were told he needed to leave because our kids aren't allowed on the Senate floor.
A similar debate was settled 8 years ago in the U.S. Senate when the Senate voted unanimously to allow children under 1 to be on the U.S. Senate floor. Minnesota senators are asking for something similar.
I think it's a good thing for us to just be a more family-friendly institution.
I think we're going to see bipartisan support and opposition. I think we're going to kind of see old guard versus young wave of parents.
A vote is scheduled for the Minnesota Senate floor on Wednesday. Esme Murphy, WCCO News.
You can watch WCCO Sunday morning with Esme Murphy and Adam Del Rosso at 6 and 10:30 a.m. Tomorrow, a new legal battle at the Supreme Court will target mail-in voting rules. Justices will hear arguments about the federal legalities of mail-in voting, particularly the practice by some states of counting mail ballots that arrive at election offices after Election Day. President Trump is pushing justices to limit the mail-in system. The court's final decision is expected by the start of summer. Yesterday felt like the start of summer, Katie, and then the harsh reality of this is a normal March day today.
It's spring in Minnesota, where it is going to start off cold and then, eventually we'll warm up. But today we were at 47 degrees. But still with that wind and the lack of sunshine, it felt cooler than that. We did change our next weather tower to white because tomorrow we're expecting a high temperature of 50 degrees, so very similar to where we were today. However, I really think that you're going to feel a difference, and it's going to feel different out there than really just a white weather tower of like a similar day, because the days are not going to be similar. But the temperatures are, but the days aren't, because we're going to see a lot of sunshine in the morning, and we didn't really get any sunshine. Our winds are also going to back off, and so the temperatures out there are going to feel better, especially with that sunshine from March. That sun does make a difference. So our winds right now, 7 miles per hour, so those are backing off. You can see we have, for the most part, pretty clear things. This is not making its way to the ground, but we're clearing out, and we're going to start to see clear skies here in the Twin Cities very soon. 35 degrees here in the Twin Cities. You're at 33 in Mankato, 22 degrees up in Bemidji, where you do not have any cloud cover. Winds have really backed off in the last hour or two. 7 in the Twin Cities, 8 in St. Cloud, 6 miles per hour up in Bemidji. So we are looking at a difference in temperatures. So we will drop off low We're going to be at 28 degrees, which is really right where we should be this time of year. And then we'll get close to 50 degrees in the afternoon. A lot of that snow, if there is any, in obviously bigger snow piles, we're going to continue that melting. We will stop the melting overnight where our temperatures will be below freezing, but then they will quickly warm up to 50 degrees for that high temperature. Again, lots of sunshine, especially here in the Twin Cities. The afternoon, we'll start to see that cloud cover come in. So if you want to do anything in the morning that you're looking for that sun, do it in the morning as opposed to the afternoon. But I'm talking like 4, 5 o'clock is when we're going to see those clouds roll in. Now, if you live to the west, that timeline is going to be a little bit earlier. We'll see the clouds come in a little earlier. High temperatures for Tuesday, you're at 55 degrees here in the Twin Cities, 53 in St. Cloud, 48 in Grand Rapids, and not nearly as much sun as what we are going to see today. So if you want to soak in that vitamin D tomorrow is going to be your day. Our next change in the weather department is going to be a chance for precipitation Wednesday night into Thursday, but it's not going to be anything significant. We aren't seeing any significant rounds of precipitation coming our way, but we do have a chance for rain Wednesday night into Thursday. High temperatures are going to stay above average Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, they do dip below average. Or average high temperature is about 45, 46 degrees during this time period. 43 is our temperature on Friday. And then as you go to next weekend, it looks nice. Good weekend to be outside and get some yard work done.
Yeah, well, now that we've gotten rid of the snowpack, that's the other thing. The snowpack, a lot of days, keeps those temperatures from really warming. So
I don't know about you, but I'm just excited for like the ground to start thawing so I can start digging things out and cleaning up my yard and
getting the
I mean,
kids
it starts with the sticks, and so there's no excuse. I could go pick up the sticks now, but do I want to do that?
But that's what you have kids for.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We did
That's a great idea,
We did
actually.
like we'll give you a penny for every, when they were little, we'll give you a penny for every stick, and then they realized how little they were getting, and they're like, well, this stinks. I'm not doing this.
I couldn't wrangle. Like, we've got 5, 3, and 1. We're not wrangling sticks yet. Like, maybe the 5-year-old, but no, I don't. The 3 or the other 2 are just like, stay alive, please.
Thank you, Katie. The WCCO Next Weather team tracking new models and telling us what they know and when they know it, so we can always help you plan and prepare for whatever comes next. A local activist is urging young people to put down their guns after a shooting left 4 teens hurt. The shooting happened Friday night at the Popeyes in Uptown. Police say they found a 16-year-old who had been shot near the drive-thru and 2 other teens inside the building. They were taken to the hospital. A 4th victim went to the hospital on his own. Activist Nasi Nasir X spoke today, urging teens to stop the senseless violence.
You don't want your mother looking over your casket. You don't want your family looking over your casket. That's just another statistic. That's just another young man out here murdered.
All 4 teens are expected to survive. The shooting is still being investigated. Why are so many more cars getting stolen in Minneapolis than St. Paul? In the first 2 months of 2026, crime data shows there were about 200 cars stolen in St. Paul. That's compared to more than 1,000 in Minneapolis during that same time frame. Local law enforcement says there are some real reasons behind that dramatic disparity. Connor White has the story.
Tia Nall needs to borrow her daughter's car to make it to and from work. It's because she says someone stole her car in northeast Minneapolis last week.
You kind of freak out a little bit because you almost feel violated because, you know, that's your property and somebody has taken it.
Nall got a call from an impound lot Monday night. She says police found the vehicle, but it's heavily damaged.
No, not drivable, no.
She certainly isn't alone. In Minneapolis, there have been more than 1,000 reported car thefts just in 2026 so far. Compare that to across the river in St. Paul, where here there have been just around 200.
So we're trending in the right direction, and that's just focused deterrence.
Sergeant Thomas Siegelstrom leads the carjacking and auto theft, or CAT unit, for the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. He says this dedicated task force, in collaboration with local police departments and prosecutors, helped bring car thefts down more than 60% in the county over 3 years.
It's not just a specific jurisdiction. It's a metro problem. It always will be.
The problem, on paper, is about 5 times worse in Minneapolis. And police data shows there have been more than 300 car thefts than there were at this time last year. A spokesperson for the police department indicated there are several factors working against them, including lower staffing levels compared to St. Paul and a lack of a dedicated auto theft unit. Minneapolis police also say that Operation Metro Surge was a factor, as officers were consistently needed away from their typical duties.
Right now, it's no lie, there's a staffing crisis.
Police in Minnesota's largest city say they're working on new strategies to try and pump the brakes on this trend. Until that happens,
I definitely do not want to go back to Minneapolis if I can help it.
In St. Paul, Connor White, WCCO News.
Minneapolis police also pointed to a couple of other factors. They said there's a new nationwide trend of thieves using key programming technology to steal cars. They also say groups of teens appear to be competing when it comes to the number of cars stolen. Columbia Heights school leaders say students there are suffering because of the ice surge. They say those kids are now at risk of losing their homes. In early January, we were told under 10 families needed rental assistance. Now one nonprofit says that number is up to 550. Nick Zymet, a Columbia Heights parent, helped start GoFundMe campaigns for schools in the district. He's also drawn support from local nonprofit Heights Next. Zymet says in January they could cover an entire month's rent for a small group of people. Now they're getting asks that exceed what they can provide by at least $800,000.
The needs progressively from January to today have just exploded.
People are saying that they need to do just pick yourself up by your bootstraps, but what do you do when the government takes your boots?
The privately operated Wilson Foundation is matching donations in Columbia Heights and is doing similar work throughout the metro, pledging to match rent assistance proposed by the city of Minneapolis. This week, concerned community members are urging the Minneapolis City Council to override Mayor Frey's eviction ordinance veto. The council passed the Pause Evictions, Save Lives ordinance. It would have extended pre-eviction notices from 30 days to 60. Mayor Frey vetoed that, instead pushing to add $1 million more in rental assistance. Some community advocates and council members will come together tomorrow to push the council to override that veto. The latest amid a challenging time for the U.S. healthcare industry. In Minneapolis, there's a strong possibility the state's largest trauma center could close. As our Susan Elizabeth Littlefield reports, that could be devastating for anyone dealing with an emergency.
You can just see up here, like all the discoloration of not only the turnouts, but just my helmet.
It's a helmet Jake LaFerrier had always dreamed of wearing. He became a Minneapolis firefighter after watching his dad fight fires, which led to the fight of his own life.
So I jumped from here, and by the grace of God, this porch overhang, I landed on that. Otherwise, I would have been dead on impact.
In 2010, he caught a backdraft, then caught fire, and leaped from 3 stories. He was rushed to HCMC.
Are there words you can use for the physical pain?
Yeah, hell, torture. I've never felt a pain that cuts so deep that you start crying for no reason. So it like literally hits your soul, your whole being of a body of a human. It was just so visceral and so physical. It just was awful.
He found healing inside the county hospital's renowned burn center.
So they saved your life?
Yeah, they saved my life.
He was so inspired, he founded a nonprofit, Firefighters for Healing. They provide housing and love to families of HCMC burn patients.
That's another reason why I get another opportunity to live, is to pay it forward for those families and be there with a loving heart.
So when he found out that without immediate help from lawmakers, the burn center that saved and formed his life could close.
And I was like, what? It was surreal to me. It was a disbelief. Like, this hospital does so many great things to save so many lives each and every day.
His goal now is to spread the word and make yet another rescue.
Our caregivers, our nurses, our docs are always there for our patients. Let's be there for them and stand up for them when they need it the most.
With photojournalist Nick Luneman, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO News.
Just ahead, a tribute to transportation in southern Minnesota.
A collection of vintage trucks from relics to one-of-a-kind restorations.
These are yesterday's trucks, and we never want to forget the past.
See how one Minnesota family keeps history rolling as we go finding Minnesota next on WCCO News.
representing accident victims for over 50 years. Schwabel, Getz & Sieben.
When it's time to sell your house, take the road less stressful with Homestead Road. We buy houses as is. You don't have to clean it, fix it, or pay realtor fees. You can just sell it. Homestead Road. Feel the joy of selling stress-free.
The old me was stuck in the daily grind. My routine didn't allow for any self-expression. I found clay, and that changed everything. I realized my calling was to give others the space to be creative, to build something. And that's how Clay Room was born. Having a Chase Ink card has allowed us to grow it and bring people together. There's a creative side in all of us. That's what I hope people come here to find.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Ink Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Did you know there's a new way to help screen for cancer? Good to know. Cancer Card helps screen for over 50 cancers, even before symptoms appear. It's one blood test that's as simple as a haircut.
That is good to know.
New Cancer Guard from the makers of Cologuard.
The new Infiniti QX80 and QX60 Sport are dark chromed, stealthed out thieves. With beauty that steals your attention and the competition's thunder. The first ever Infiniti QX80 and QX60 Sport. Make the perfect getaway with exceptional offers on the new Infiniti Sport model. Only at your local Infiniti retailer.
Febreze. Febreze Touch is unlike any other fabric spray. It stores scent in your fabrics, so every touch activates a burst of freshness. Plus, it traps odors and locks them away. Febreze Touch.
At Gladstone's, our staff doesn't work on commission. Everyone is focused on delivering exceptional customer service from start to finish. Schedule a free in-home estimate to learn more about Marvin Windows and Doors or visit gladstoneswindow.com.
Fraud and abuse in our healthcare? Unacceptable. A shocking new report shows our hospitals pocketed over $1 billion buying discounted drugs, profiting off patients, charging them double. $1 billion. It's a broken system, and they're pushing to keep it that way. A new report confirms it. The biggest, wealthiest hospitals captured 80% of the profits, not the small safety net clinics that actually need the help. St. Paul, protect your people, not hospital profits. Crack down on 340B abuse.
You've probably seen classic car museums and car shows, but have you ever seen a vintage truck museum? In this week's Finding Minnesota, John Lauritsen shows us how the Nuss collection keeps history rolling in Rochester.
When you're having fun, you're working, it's just nothing more pleasurable.
When Nuss Truck and Equipment opened its doors in Rochester in the early 70s, they never imagined their full-time work would translate into a full-time hobby.
And then it was 2 trucks, and then a couple of years later, 3 or 4 trucks. We had all these old trucks in here, and we decided, well, let's make it a museum.
A museum that Bob Nuss says contains some of the rarest construction relics on the planet, dating back to the early 1900s.
This is a 1914, the Sternberg. Okay. And that's the only one in the world.
He calls them the vehicles that helped build America, like this truck, which worked on the Hoover Dam. But these rigs also helped win world wars.
When you think about 4,000 of these trucks going over to World War I, these were very instrumental in winning the war in Europe.
Mack Trucks assisted with war efforts and wine efforts. They once made trucks for wineries.
This is called a winter cab, so the doors were sliding doors.
Mack even dabbled in passenger buses. This one was built in 1952 and was used by the Richfield Bus Company until 1973.
The first bus was a Mack, and the first Mack was a bus.
Bob is a walking encyclopedia of vintage truck knowledge.
It's just a cab over truck. It had a top on it. This has got a Buffalo motor on the back of it.
Information he gladly shares when he gives tours.
This is the first new model truck that had a bulldog on it.
When you're in the business of restoring century-old vehicles, you need a full-time pit crew to make it happen. There is an archive room with old parts manuals, but much of what you find in here isn't manufactured anymore.
Sometimes we have to create a part ourselves. They don't just exist. You can't call up Sears Roebuck and say, I need a part for this truck.
In some cases, it can take 2 years to bring a truck back to life or turn it into something else entirely, like when they turned this 1926 fire truck into a touring coach.
That's a one-of-a-kind truck that we created. It seats probably 16 or 20 people, but it's still got the original
party bus almost. The entire museum is a nonprofit, and when they hold their open house, they don't charge a dime. It's their way of paying tribute to the trucks.
These will live on for future generations. Otherwise, they'll die off and no one will know what happened. So we're happy to open this up to the public.
But these are yesterday's trucks, and we never want to forget the past.
In Rochester, with photojournalist Dave Schwab, John Lordson, WCCO News.
During the war, British troops started calling Mack trucks bulldogs because they rarely got stuck in the mud. That's how they got their logo. Coming up, a bunch of Minnesota kids dancing in the NCAA tournament here on CBS. More March Madness next.
Injured in an accident? Ensure you're fairly compensated. Contact Schwabel Getz and Sieben.
On your period, sudden gushes happen. Say goodbye, gush fears. Always ultra thin. It's made with rapid dry technology that absorbs 3 times faster. Hello, cleaner, drier, fresher. Always gush ready.
Want to get more done with one sheet? Grab Bounty. While ordinary brands can't hold up, one sheet of Bounty keeps working even when wet. Can your paper towel do all that? Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Amazon offers hourly employees health care for $5 a week with $5 copays.
Safety.
Should I go, Mom?
No, don't tell your mother anything.
Amazon offers hourly employees health care on day 1 for the whole family.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions. Home to possibility and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Your car could be worth more than you think during the Luther Auto Trade or Sell event. The spring market is here and Luther needs your car more than ever. Top trade-in values and enhanced factory incentives make now the perfect time to trade or sell. This month, receive an instant cash offer for your vehicle at any of our convenient locations. Plus, with over 13,000 vehicles in stock, Luther's got you covered. The time is now during the Luther Auto Trade or Sell event.
There was a utility van, didn't realize traffic had stopped, and then he plowed into behind me going 55 miles an hour. Fortunately, I survived that accident. Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben really cared about me. Jim would call me often and ask me how I'm doing, how therapy was going, if I was progressing any better. It's nice to know that he cares about you. Just, reaching above and beyond what's expected from your attorney.
Call Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben or go to schwabel.com for a free consultation.
Ron Clayton is back with some more Minnesotans in action during March Madness. It's fun no matter what game you're watching when a Minnesotan gets a shout out from the announcers.
And it's true, it's the state of hockey, but really it's the state of basketball too. There's so much talent coming out of this state and staying in, as we saw earlier in the show. Taylor's got some competition for the top. Heisey making sports noise in the Midwest lately. Her brother Nate has been having a great season hooping at Iowa State, and it continued today. The Cyclones hoping to avoid an upset at the hands of Kentucky, trailing until Nate Heisey hits his clutch corner 3 to take the lead as they hit halftime. And here comes the Lake City native once more on the break in the second half, this time building on a lead. The bucket and one. Heisey scored 12 points. There's Mama Heisey getting some love in the crowd. Iowa State wins 82-63. They advance to the Sweet 16. To the women's side of the bracket, Michigan playing NC State in round 2. Benilde St. Margaret's grad Olivia Olson didn't have a field goal until midway through the third. An and one got her going, and she was red hot from then on out. A baseline jumper coming up to continue the spurt. Somehow, the Minnesotan ended up leading all scorers with 27 points, all scored in the second half. The Michigan wins 92-63. They also headed to the Sweet 16. Maryland versus North Carolina. Minnehaha Academy grad Addie Mack provides the Terrapins with an early lead. Cash on the 3-ball. Later before halftime, Mack attacks from long range again. The true freshman from Minneapolis finished with 13 points. Maryland made it close, but can't quite pull off the upset. UNC wins 74-66. Number 1 seed Texas versus Oregon. Aaliyah Crump, the state champion at Minnetonka, taking the ball up and dishing. She played 15 minutes on the court. Moments later, it's Crump's turn to shoot. She hits the triple. The Shakopee native had 5 points as the Longhorns roll to a Sweet 16 with a 100-58 blowout win. How about some Gophers baseball? Needing to snap a 4-game losing streak. Series finale here with Indiana. And Minnesota bats came to play. Ty Allen launches a 3-run home run in the second inning, and it was out of reach and getting even more so. Jack Spanier from Rocori, a 2-run home run in the 7th frame. Spanier with a 4-hit day. This one gets shortened via the run rule. Gophers win in 8 innings, 14-2. That skid is now over officially in an emphatic way.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Ren. While we might not experience a high near 80 again for some time, a warm-up is on the way, even though it's gradual. The best days to get outside this week in your next weather forecast.
Start your healthcare career at Corner Home Medical. Join our team. Apply online at cornerhm.com.
At Homestead Road, we know it can be really hard to sell a house. So when you're ready to downsize and simplify your life, we make it easy. We buy houses as is. You don't have to clean it, fix it, show it, or pay realtor fees. You can just sell it and move on to the next chapter, whatever that chapter is. It's just as simple as it sounds. Sell as is with Homestead Road. Feel the joy of selling stress-free.
In 1776, America made a promise. In 1941, we proved we meant it. That fighting spirit still lives on in the Jeep brand. Now, with the Jeep Declaration of Deals, get 0% financing for 60 months on select 2025 models, or we'll cover your sales tax. Plus, no monthly payments for 90 days. Jeep, there's only one.
Or with our Declaration of Deals, well-qualified current FCA lessees can lease the 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S for $351 a month. Don't miss this great offer. See your Twin Cities Jeep brand dealer.
We all have a friend who loves the McDonald's hot, crispy Filet-O-Fish. My friend, you could be that friend.
You'll love our crispy, delicious Filet-O-Fish even more when you get 2 for $6.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
My skin's always so dry. Leggings it is.
Try Olay Hydrating Body Wash. It's the secret to lasting moisture. With 10 times the moisturizers to repair your skin barrier. Go from dry to visibly hydrated.
Love the skin you're in.
Olay Hydrating Body Wash and Lotion.
Just stress sweating through my 3rd set of scrubs. Totally normal, very healthy. I'm sure it's not a sign of emotional unraveling.
You need new Secret Clinical Antiperspirant, STAT. Secret gives 3 times more stress sweat protection.
Thanks.
Got a bunch. Secret, stay fresher under pressure.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post-9/11 veterans and their families realize
support is there when we need it.
Our voices will be heard.
I can do anything I put my mind to.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/together.
The most important value of our law firm is our commitment to our clients.
When I walked away from my first meeting with Schwabel, Getz, and Sievin, I felt so special. I felt that I was going to be their #1 client. And that comfort that they gave me carried through my whole court case. I always felt that they were pushing for me, advocating for me. They never gave up.
You need an experienced attorney on your side. Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben. Call or visit schwabel.com.
Thanks for staying up with us. Katie, with one last look at your next weather forecast.
Yeah, I can't give you 79 degrees again. Sorry, guys. I feel like the bar is high here, and we're not going to come up to it. But 50 degrees is where we're going to be tomorrow. We're going to see a lot of sunshine in the morning, and then as we get into the afternoon, a little bit more cloud cover, and those clouds will stick around for Tuesday. 55 degrees. So tomorrow's going to be nice. Wednesday is going to be nice as well, almost 60 degrees there. Wednesday night into Thursday is our next best chance for rain, even though it's not a great chance. It still is. It's kind of nothing like crazy in this 7-day forecast. We're above average, then on Friday we're below average, and then as we look ahead to the weekend, it looks warm and above average.
Everything doesn't have to be an extreme. Thanks for joining us on TV and online. We'll continue streaming on CBS News Minnesota. Back live at 5 a.m. Have a great week.
Big refund, big project, big savings at Menard.
rebates. Turn your tax refund into your next big project. Plus, get an 11% rebate. Atlas Roofing provides the best value in architectural shingles. They feature a limited lifetime warranty, wind resistance up to 130 miles per hour, and their wide design saves on installation time. Visit us in-store or online to get free estimates fast with our easy-to-use design program and get an 11% rebate on Atlas shingles.
Save big money at Menards.
For meetings of 10 or conferences of 400, Timberlake Lodge delivers productivity without compromise. With in-house catering, a full-service restaurant and bar, and everything you need under one roof, this is where business gets done. Timberlake Lodge.
You've got a big day, and you need to smell fresh. That's why the all-new Unstoppables gives your clothes a 24-hour non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
Can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Unstoppables fresh. Smell unstoppable.
Bathfitter makes it easy to remodel your bath or shower. I'm Jeff Boomin. And I'm Rick Boomin with Bathfitter.
We offer a beautiful selection of tubs and showers, or convert your tub to a shower.
With our seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you'll get a beautiful new shower guaranteed for life.
Bathfitter's been around for 40 years, and we make our showers right here in America, from Duluth to Rochester. We serve all of Minnesota.
Call now for a free estimate and receive up to $1,000 off or financing as low as $100 a month.
It's better with Bathfitter.
The following is a paid program from Joel Osteen Ministries.
For thousands of years,